what's up guys? Today is Saturday, March 11th, 2023. This is TradeZone week 3. Last week was week 2. I posted the video up. You can go check that out on my channel. I raced the B race last week, which was the Cat 3-4 race. This week I'm actually doing the 4-5 race, which is the C race. I got 7 hours of rest last night. I actually woke up like 3 or 4 times. Maybe I was a little excited to race today. And then I woke up earlier than I wanted to just because I couldn't sleep anymore. So I woke up, grabbed a bagel and cream cheese to eat. Gonna munch on some stuff now. Oh my god, I forgot my water bottles. Ah, so stupid. Oh my gosh. What to do? All right, well, I've done a really hard hour-long group ride before without any fluids, so hopefully I won't need any. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. It might not be good. Oh gosh. All right, anyway, conditions for today. It is about 40 degrees, but because the wind is, again, pretty strong, it's actually a little bit stronger than last week. Last week was 15 to 20 miles per hour. Today is going to be 20 to 25 miles per hour. So staying sheltered will be important. The direction of the wind is actually the same as last week, so that might be good to apply what I learned last week to this week. We'll see how it is. Man, I can't believe I forgot my bottles. Yeah, at least I have gels that I can take. Gosh, it's like completely throwing me off mentally.
Look, is $750 to do an ad read? Is that like
Vegan cyclist on the Nero show.
I mean, if you're making 3 videos.
Quite interesting. All right, it's cold. You guys ready for it? This is the secret to my bib number pinning success. Zach from TradeZone Elite put me onto this. This is it right here. Now spray some of this on your bib, place it on your jersey or wherever you're gonna pin your number. It'll sit nice and flat. You can pin it and you're good. It does leave a little bit of sticky residue on your jersey if you use too much, but I try not to use too much. Yeah, I'll show you the result. Zach said he gets made fun of by his TradeZone Elite teammates about this, but I think it's pretty brilliant. How many pins do you need in a bib number?
It's time.
At least 7, sometimes 8. That's good. Good. Whew, it is nippy. Yeah, so the real feel is 32 degrees, I think. I'm hoping that the early morning rides that I do in the cold help me out a little bit. Either way, we are gonna race with no water bottles. I do have a couple gels that I'll probably take one before the race and one during, and see how it goes. Hoping to do well in the C race. I'll definitely be more competitive in this field compared to last week, so we'll see how it goes. Oh, that hurt my ears. All right, let's get into the race recap now. Right off the bat, you can see the data shows that my heart rate is at 182. That is incorrect. I started my Wahoo computer about 2 laps into the race. So this is the data that is showing for when I start the computer later on. Anyway, there were 50 riders registered for this race and 43 of them made it to the start line. In every race that I do, I try to line up in the front now.
just so that I don't have to unnecessarily waste any energy early in the race to move up in the field. The biggest team in the race had 6 riders. It was NCVC, Nation's Capital, and the second largest team was District Taco, and they had 3 riders. The reason I'm mentioning this is because you'll see a little bit of the dynamic of the race shapes around the fact that these two teams are the largest in the field. So being an unattached rider, I was just trying to conserve as much energy as possible. But later you'll also see that sometimes it might be worth emptying the tank to make it to certain moves. And mainly for the sake of time, let's hop forward to a couple key moments in the race. Okay, so I was wrong about starting my Wahoo on the second lap. I'm pretty sure I started on the next lap, the third lap. So the data is still not here. But here we are on lap 2, and we just took turn 2 and we're coming down south on the course. This is the downhill section of the course, and it's really fast. I get pretty lazy here, and I should have been following those wheels in front of me, but I was getting blasted by the wind, so I just decided to keep pedaling smoothly and try to catch up to them. You can see the field is starting to get strung out here, and as we take this last turn, coming back to the start finish, you'll see there's a huge gap now in front of us. There are a couple riders here. I take this corner as smoothly as possible, and the move looks threatening, so I decide to close the gap, and I have to put out a bunch of power, and this proves to definitely be a big waste of energy because it was early in the race and people were motivated to chase moves back, and the field does bring this one back pretty quickly. Again, I don't have the power data here because I didn't start my computer yet and it wasn't recording, but I know that I put in a pretty big dig here and it was all for nothing really. And this was probably an example where patience would have paid off. Alright, we hopped ahead one more lap. We are now on lap 3, and yay, we have data. Some of you may have already seen my YouTube short video of this, but I wanted to just show it here quickly. This BYC rider in front of me, I believe he's a junior. As he's setting up to take turn number 1, I think he hits a little pothole and maybe his hands weren't fully gripping the bars, and I think they slide off, and he falls forward onto his top tube, takes a hard left turn, and somehow saves it. Thankfully, he didn't crash or even cause a crash. Unfortunately, it left a small gap, so I punch it out of the corner and I have to do a little bit of extra work there. But yeah, that was pretty impressive by him. Alright, so we just hopped forward about 4 laps and we are coming up to the start-finish line. We're about to start lap 8, I believe. At some point on this straight, I noticed that a few people are going off the front. I was definitely out of position to respond to the attack, but as we take this first corner, you'll see in the distance that there are a few people that have maybe a 6 to 8 second gap. It heats up out of the corner. You see 1, 2, 3, and then 4 riders go. There are already 5 riders up in the break, and there are 5 or 6 of us chasing now. I do my best to snap off some power so that I can latch onto some wheels. But yeah, starting the chase effort with that kind of power definitely put me in a hole. And if you remember what I said in the beginning, NCVC and District Taco were the 2 largest teams. They totaled 9 riders, and both of those teams were represented in the break. So this was definitely a moment where alarm bells were ringing, and in hindsight, it was definitely the right move to chase this. So you'll see for, obviously I didn't know this at the time, but for maybe the next 4.5 minutes or 5 minutes, I basically do a power PR. So I definitely was suffering. I basically buried myself to catch up to this front group. Thankfully I made it. I really almost didn't, but yeah, you can see I'm actually not able to fully latch onto some of these wheels, but I'm basically just trying to do as much as I can to catch up to the group as quickly as I can so that I can recover. This rider in the dark blue speed suit who just came roaring by me, number 343, he introduced himself before the race. His name is Kyle. He was the TT champion for Cat 4 racers, I believe, in Virginia. So I knew he was definitely a strong rider. But yeah, he's a super nice guy. He actually threw some encouraging words to me during the race. Yeah, and I really appreciated that. Now that I'm looking back on this footage, this was actually only the beginning of my suffering. So the next minute and a half, I'm basically just going to splice some clips together of the effort that I did to remain in the front pack, and I suffered badly.
Toast.
Alright, thankfully that was the last time I got dangled off the back of this group. I don't know exactly how many laps were left. I think there were maybe 3 or 4 laps left. I did absolutely no pulling or work. I tried to recover on the back as much as possible because I knew that there would be a reduced bunch sprint at the end. We are coming down the course map. We have 1 turn left to go. A young Kelly Benefits rider attacks on the left side, which basically ramps up the speed of the entire group. I should have definitely anticipated this much better. I should have tried to slot into maybe 6th or 7th wheel before the turn. But either way, I was in 11th position coming into this last turn. I could have taken this really clean inside line, but in the moment I wanted to play it a little bit safer and I didn't want to potentially undercut Kyle. So I actually scrubbed the brakes a little bit, unfortunately, and that was a big mistake. Anyhow, for this entire final inclined headwind section that drags all the way to the line, I basically just had to do as much power as I could, try to catch as many wheels as I could, and get as much draft as possible. And you'll see by the end, I feel like I was still gaining a little bit of ground on the top 4 guys, but I was able to pip 1 guy for 5th place here, and yeah, that's how the race ended. So positioning was terrible at the end. If I had to go back and do it again, I probably would have stalked 1 or 2 of the guys that I knew were top 5 last week, and probably just tried to hang on their wheel as best as possible until the very end. But either way, I'm satisfied with the race, mainly because of the effort that I did to bridge to the front group, and I actually gave myself a chance to at least get a top 5 result, so that wasn't too bad. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe and like the video. My next race should be the Poolsville Road Race, which I did last year, which this year is happening on April 8th. In the meantime, I might try to edit a few of the videos that I wasn't able to get to from last year, and I'll put them up on my channel. One last thing I'll say is that the love from the community has been awesome. There were a couple people who were telling me that they watch my videos and that they enjoyed it, and that's really motivating for me to hear.
Hey James?
Yes.
I'm Ray.
Ray, nice to meet you.
See your video.
Oh, cool.
You're honestly one of the main reasons I started racing.
Oh, yeah?
It's my second race.
Cool. Did you come here last week?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome that you came out.
But I watched like you got one of the best videos all about the races.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
How cool is that? So Ray, I hope you continue racing. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll probably see you around. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. If you want to see more videos of mine in the future, feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks.